Okay, guys, Apple has released iOS 18.2.1. Now, this is the very first update where it is highly recommended that you update now if you have not already. So, the update has been out for close to a day now, and I have been using it, and my experience has been better than it was on iOS 18.2. So, it is highly recommended that you actually update it. So, just head over to your settings here, jump over to General, and then Software Update, and just make sure that you are fully up to date. Now, there is no changelog for this particular update, but Apple indicates that this update provides important bug fixes and is recommended for all users. I have never heard Apple use that particular terminology for an iOS update. So just make sure you go in and run this update. There are a few issues that I hope Apple addresses. As most of you all have seen with my previous video, hopefully they fix the weird AI issues that have been going on to where AI just decides not to work anymore. That to me was a very weird one. Within the comments, you guys also mentioned that your battery has not been very good on iOS 18.2. Now, for me, battery has been great, but I expect it to be even better in this update. So, if it gets any better, I will definitely be enjoying that. And one big bug that has been happening is with the camera. So every once in a while, you'll go in and launch your camera, and it just decides to go black and not work. So that is very problematic. So let's hope that that was one of the main fixes because I experienced that multiple times. I'll go in, I'll launch my camera, my screen will be fully black, and it'll freeze to where I can't exit the camera, use the camera, or do anything. So I had to actually force reboot the phone. So that to me was extremely problematic. So let's hope that that was fixed. Now, a lot of you guys have also mentioned your frame rate issues on iOS 18.2. So for me, I can already tell after a day of using this particular update that it is indeed running faster um, performance wise than on the previous update. I wasn't necessarily noticing that many performance issues on the last update, but I will always take any type of enhancement there. So hopefully Apple releases more information here very, very soon on what these actual bug fixes are. Or we find out from leakers and whatnot of what the actual fixes are. Now, you guys have also mentioned that you've had Wi-Fi and Bluetooth issues. So let's hope it resolves those issues. Now, you can also jump into your settings and then jump into About and make sure that you check and just see if there is a carrier update. If there was a carrier update, it would show up here automatically. I personally don't have one, but make sure to check that as well. And that could possibly help with your mobile data issues if you were experiencing any of those. So one thing I highly recommend doing is jumping into the App Store, clicking your little icon here, swiping down, and just making sure you don't have any app updates. I ran all of mine last night and there's already additional updates here. So just make sure you run all of your application updates to where all of those particular apps are up to date as well as your operating system. It just makes sure that the compatibility is the best it can be. And especially if you're having battery issues, a lot of those come from background app usage. And there could have been a bug with that particular application version with the compatibility of your iOS version. And the last bug I've noticed was that you guys were mentioning that you would be scrolling through or you would be using your apps and your app would actually fully force close. Now, I have not had this issue, but let's hope that this is resolved as well. Now, lastly, you guys were also telling me that your apps were freezing on just typical usage. So I haven't had that problem particularly, but let's scroll here to like weather. I haven't had that problem particularly, but let's hope that they've fixed that issue as well. So guys, like I said, I highly recommend you go ahead and run this update to ensure that you're getting the best performance out of your iPhone. Apple seems to have finally admitted essentially that they have issues with iOS 18.2 and iOS 18 overall. So let's hope that this is a very successful update. All right, guys, thanks for watching Josh's Way of Life. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.